Welcome back to some more MLE Sports action presented by APM Music. This is Bear, and I am joined by Bearded. Bearded, how are we doing today?
Bear, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much for having me back here again tonight.
Absolutely. It's going to be enjoyable. We have for match number 3, Master League 3s. We've seen a few 3s games today, and it's Rhinos versus Outlaws. Where do you think this one's going to go, Bearded?
Well, these two, if you look down at the stats, are almost dead even at a 22-18 and a 20-20. So on paper, it's anyone's game. However, when you look at the individual stats versus winning games or winning teams and losing teams, it seems that the Rhinos win against the winning teams and they lose against the losing teams. So if they continue that trend here today, I think the Outlaws are going to take it.
Yeah, that's very possible. And, we're going to be going into the match shortly anyways. But one thing I like that you mentioned the stats this year. One thing to also point out is their placements. Rhinos are 4th in their conference. Is that right? Sound right, Bearded? Conference, 4th in their conference?
I would agree with you on that one.
Okay. And then Outlaws are 9th in their conference. So, it could go either way, Bearded, if I'm being honest. I don't know, but stats are close. We saw in the match before in Academy League, Wolves versus Puffins. Had to look at that one. We saw Wolves. Technically, Wolves were rated lower, but they ran away with the 3-2 win. We could see the same thing with Rhinos Outlaws. Outlaws are rated lower, and they could. I don't know. Stats are close. That's all I have to say.
I'm surprised to hear that it's 4th and 9th with the stats being so close. That means that for some of these teams, making it to the playoffs and getting to that next level is maybe 1-2 wins difference. So, keep going, guys, and we'll see who actually makes it there. We have a few more matches left.
Yeah, we'll see on kickoff. One Minotaur, just one, by the way, a singular Minotaur is starting the playoff. Blaw's going to throw it across Alpha. Omega is going to get the clear here, the end of view, clearing it out, or trying to make a play. One Minotaur again. Early pressure here from the Outlaws. Do you think that's going to continue, Bearded?
I was just about to say the same thing. As of right now, they're going to feel each other out and see who's going to make the first mistake, and it appears that's going to be the Rhinos because the Outlaws patiently took it downfield. One pass to the next, off of the back wall or side wall, sorry, from Alpha Mega. Corner, can't get any of it right. And right there for Blawdat smacking the goal.
Yeah, Blaw definitely taking advantage of the mistake that was made there and scoring off of it 30 seconds into the match. That sometimes can mean that it's going to be a blowout, but we saw in the last series that in reality all that means is it's going to be a 2-1. That might be the case, but it's not looking like it, Bearded. It's not looking like it.
Blah is quick to go ahead and throw another one to the back net. Once again, off a mistouch, this time Minotaur hitting a corner or the misspeak. Oh my goodness, yeah, corner, thank you. And once again, it's nothing that they're doing crazy, nothing they can't fix. It's simple little things that the Outlaws are already taking advantage of.
Yeah, most definitely. Here we already see the Outlaws taking advantage of mistakes. Both goals, the assist to them were given to Boxel, even though he might not have been the one giving the ball right to him. Blah looking for another chance there. Omega getting a nice save.
Imagine
Here's
having...
Boxel, though. Go ahead.
Apologize. Imagine having a hat trick. We were almost at 4 minutes. That would have been a 1 minute in. A great way to start the series. And instead, it's 1 minute and 20 seconds. He says, imagine, well, here, I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. Boxel with the assist again. These two are a crazy combo today.
Yeah, you weren't joking about that. You said it, and Blah delivered. You ask and you shall receive is what Blah's going by with the hat trick now. And, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that right in the perfect time for Blah to bring it up. That being said, Rhino's making a little bit of a push here as Bowser's going to try and take a shot.
everyone from the Outlaws, and I mean everyone, was awkward there on the corner. No boost, I don't think, from anybody. It's amazing that that shot went where it did, because anybody anywhere else, and that would have been an easy goal. But here they are pushing down the field now, still not with a lot of boosts. Alpha Mega off the back wall. End of view might be there to stop it. Takes his time. Up over one. And Minotaur's going to put it right back off the backboard.
Yeah, here we'll see Bowser getting a little bit of a offensive pressure, I guess. Blah, though, is going to take it away. End of view to continue the forward momentum. One Minotaur finally making it back. He's going... Blah's going to get a little bit of a carry here. Omega to hit it away. This is just sitting in midfield, Bearded. It really is.
They had a lot of time there, and by they, the Rhinos, had a lot of time to do something. Instead, they just looked at the ball and waited for the Outlaws to bring it to them. When you're down by 3, you can't exactly wait for the ball to come to you. This isn't 0-0, this isn't 1-1, this is crunch time. The time is ticking down. They need to do something, and that starts with them applying the pressure, not letting the Outlaws bring the ball to them.
Yeah, Outlaws making... I don't even know how to speak about this, because Outlaws are just keeping the pressure going. Maybe it's just the first game, and that's why it's being so much one-sided. However, we're definitely going to have to see something different out of these Rhinos if they want to make it to playoffs. I think currently they will... Let me look again. They are ranked 9th. So they currently... No, Outlaws. So Rhinos currently are making it towards playoffs. If they want to keep that spot, they're going to have to quit letting this happen.
With the 22 and 18 and the 20 and 20 and the stats being so similar, it's kind of crazy to think that we have 3 unanswered, uncontested goals coming from the Rhinos. On paper, we said they look like this will be an even match. I expected a long time sitting at 0-0, to be honest with you, and that's not what we're seeing here. So in the last match that I casted, it took 1 game for the opponent to figure out what the other person was doing. They didn't do much that game other than, you know, predict and plan for the next. But in the next game, they built a little bit of pressure, and the one after that, they took dubs. So it could just be that the Rhinos are calculating our next move.
Yeah, that is very possible. I thought I smelt food for a second. Listen, this bear here likes his honey and his food all the same, but there's no food at Bearded. Anyways, the food is going to be for the Minotaur as he almost gets gold there. End of view having to make a save. A little bit of pressure is coming from the Rhinos now. They might have been playing with their food earlier, but it seems like it's immediately going to go back to the Outlaws with the pressure. End of view trying to push it back up. Voxel's going to try and catch it. But yeah, what you were saying earlier about the first match, it definitely could just be the first match. They needed a second to fill out their opponents, and after this, Rhinos might just run away. But, you know, time will tell as far as that goes.
Right now, from the Rhinos, we need to see them working together. With the Outlaws, you see the first touch, followed by the second touch, followed by the third touch. Everybody is ready and in place. They are playing their role. When there is a mistake coming from the Rhinos right now, where's the person behind? Where's the person who should be there when they need to be, just in case that first touch doesn't come out? So I think we're seeing a little bit of a rotational issue going on from the Rhinos. If they can pull that up together and tighten it down, I think the next match will be entirely different outcome.
Yeah, that is very true and very possible. Going into next match, I'm just looking at the map lineup, and it is one of the worst matches in my opinion. Neo Tokyo. Bearded, what do you think is going to happen in Neo Tokyo?
Neo Tokyo is one of those maps with a lot going on around you, so if you're like me, ADHD distracted by everything, that is one where you gotta focus up. That one, as well as the DJ, those are incredibly hard to tell the depth in the air for me. So if they are gonna be any better or have any better luck, then good luck to both the Rhinos and the Outlaws.
Yeah, thinking of some of the sides there. Oh, it looks like we might not be going to Neo Tokyo here. I could still be wrong, but it currently does not look like we are. In Neo Tokyo, which it looks like we not be going there. There is I'm going to let you correct me because I know you're going to. There is a Raymond poster. No, you agree, Raymond? Bearded?
There is. I think it's Bob's Raymond to be exact. Up there, he's munching. And I know you've been talking about food since before the series started. Is food on your mind again, Bear?
Yes, it is. I am very glad you also say ramen. I got corrected by one of my teammates saying, no, it's ramen. It is not ramen. It's ramen.
See,
right?
I didn't realize you were asking me for the pronunciation. I thought you were just asking if that was there. I do have to apologize. I've only ever heard it called ramen, so I'm going to have to use some words on that one, Bear.
No, it's okay. You already said ramen. I'll take the win. Anyways, Bowser's here. Gonna try. We're definitely seeing difference. Oh, I'm going to be quiet. I was going to say we saw different Rhinos, and then they got scored on by Voxel.
Right there, a mistouch. This time there was somebody in order to make sure that the mistouch resulted in not a goal immediately. However, Bowser also wasn't getting the touch that he wanted, and there was not a third person to correct the mistouch on the mistouch.
Yeah, there would have been, and if there was a potential of 3 missed touches in a row, or 0, or 2, I guess, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, the Rhinos, we're seeing offensive pressure right now. They're doing better. 1 minute where it says put a shot on goal there. Omega trying to get a demo real quick, but he's going to go ahead and give up, not waste too much boost on them. Bowser getting it mid, but Blah gets the clear there. Blah's got a different, I don't know if this is an alt account, but Blah that is back is a little bit of a different name. Am I correct there?
I've only ever casted him this one time, so I couldn't tell you what his names were previously. I'm glad that you came in calling him Blah, because I was over here trying to think of Blah that is back and how I'm going to say that all at the same time in the middle of a game. So thank you for that. Now, what we're seeing here right now is a little bit more pressure from the Rhinos. We had to play go mid, but we have the hesitation coming out. It's almost as if the second man forgets that there's a third man behind him, and if anything goes wrong, he should be there. So when we had that ball go across the middle moments ago, that second man needed to go, regardless of whether he thought there was going to be a 50 or anything else. He's second man. He needs to play his role.
Yeah, and I have good news for everybody. My DoorDash is on the way. Sorry, that's completely off topic. None of that even matters as the Rhinos are getting that pressure. I think you were just talking about that. But here we see Outlaws back again. Rhino, it's just switching back and forth at this point. I do like the pressure the Rhinos are getting this game compared to last game. I don't like the fact that we've been in this match for, it's halftime basically now, and Outlaws are still in the lead, only by 1, but I'd hope by now that the Rhinos would have scored another one, or scored 1, but Outlaws scoring another one. Go ahead, Bearded.
All of this coming from the end of you. Voxel didn't have anything he had to do other than beat Bowser, which he had by a mile. End of you came in, and the goalie was ready for the shot, but when there's no goalie, you can't be ready.
Yeah, you really can't. I am very glad that somebody pointed out that Google does say ramen. Thank you very much. Anyways, Alpha's going to put a shot on. Not going to make it, though. Bowser kicking it off to the side. And we see a shot here from Blah. Bowser, no, Bowser, what are you doing there? Blah sticking it right back in with the pass from... oh, wait, no, he's on the other team. Never mind, Bearded. Go ahead.
I was a little bit confused on what happened there. It looked like Blah had the touch, and then it looked like there was no way that was going in, and Bowser said, well, you know, we like to make it interesting. Here's another little touch just to get it right to Blah, who was able to pinch that into the corner. If that was me, it would have bounced off the post all the way back to my goal, but Blah does not seem to miss. So every time he shoots, we have another goal on the scoreboard.
Yeah, we've seen a goal from Blah this game, 2 from Voxel, but Blah last game scoring several. Score now 3-0, same as I think the last game ended. We'll see if they can keep it up as Alpha Omega, or Alpha. We've seen he's actually done a lot of broadcasting here. So from the production side, a very well-known name. But it's going to try and get moved. It's just staying in the Rhino side. The Rhinos are going to have to get a clear here, Bearded, if they want any chance of bringing this game back.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, we saw a play where the ball was heading right at the Outlaws. In fact, right at the end of you. Not only was it right at the end of you, but he was backwards. And he confidently sat there in front of the ball because nobody decided to push. I don't know about you, but if I see my opponent is backwards, that's the time that I'm about to pounce. Even if I don't get a goal, it's going to bounce out hopefully favorably to my teammate who's hungry for the goal right behind me.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this. I am still paying attention to the game. There's Omega getting well. Oh, Blah almost scored another one. And Boxel almost scored an. Holy crap, this offense here from Outlaws. Again, it's just the pressure, and it's so hard for these Rhinos to deal with it. Boxel just taking that ball away from Minotaur. Gets it to end of you. End of you not going to be able to get a shot. Anyways, I was going to point out, someone in the chat said that they love you, Bearded. I was going to inform you in case you didn't already know. But yeah, it's been quite a match so far for the Outlaws.
Well, thank you to this stranger as of right now who remains unnamed. This is my third time casting here. I'm having a lot of fun, and I look forward to being here for you to love even more.
Yeah, definitely. The game is going to come to an end as soon as the ball touches the ground. Bowser almost scoring off that Outlaws. Again, 3-0 win. Bearded, what are we thinking? Because, you know, we saw 2 3-0s in a row from Outlaws. You think it's going to continue?
Well, with what we've seen, I don't think there's really anything else to expect other than another 3-0. But right now, I'm going to say that we're watching a 3v3 team versus 3 1v1s. The plays are there, but the follow-up touches are not. Like I said, the person who's supposed to be coming in is going, if this goes wrong, then I need to be back to block. But that's not your job. That's third man's job. So I think everybody just needs to take a breath, reset, and realize that what we're playing, which is threes. Get into the rotation, get in where you fit in, and just keep the ball moving.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll see here. We're gonna go to Sovereign Heights is what it looks like is the next one. Not a bad map. You got any opinions about that? It seems fairly simple in my opinion, but what do you think, Bearded?
I think they finally gave us some eye candy. There's been suggestion after suggestion on Reddit for all the different maps that we could get. I mean, we're 7 years into the game and we've barely scratched the surface. So this one is beautiful. I do think that the hoops maps could have been done a little bit better. I am a little sad that they copied and pasted it, you know, no change up or anything, but I am happy. It's way better than the last couple maps that we've received, for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad we didn't go to Neo Tokyo. That way the argument ended and we know for a fact that it was ramen is how you say it. Anyways, going into match number 3, is that correct? Match number 3?
Match number 3, which could be the last in the series here if Outlaws are able to take it home. And now I want to point out, I never tried to correct you. I just told you that all I've ever heard was it was ramen. So I am a neutral in this argument. I am pleading the fifth. I am not out here trying to correct anybody because Lord knows I've never left the States.
Yeah, and my name is Mayhem. You are correct. I guess I was confused. Omega Blaze and Alpha Omega. I was confusing the two. Alpha Omega and Omega Blaze, both part of the Rhinos. However, Alpha Omega is not the producer I thought he was. However, that's okay. He still does a lot for the community. If nothing else, he's a great player here for the Rhinos. However, Boxel is showing him how great of a player he is. However, we almost saw a goal there from Rhinos. We haven't seen one of those yet. So, you know, Blaze, or not Blaze, I'm really thinking of these Omegas, man. Bearded, do you think we're going to get to see a goal here from the Rhinos?
I'm confused on how we did not. That ball was bouncing dangerously in front of the goal, and it looks like the shooter came in and said, but what if? Forget the what ifs. You are down by 2. You have to get something moving. At this point, it's time to push yourself. It's time to do something you wouldn't normally do because the Outlaws have a read on everything else that you've done so far.
Yeah, most definitely. Here we'll see as Bowser is trying to get it clear. He does. It is on target Boxel, though. Boxel has been fundamental in the saves. Oh, wow. I'm looking at the stats. Outlaws have had to make a lot of saves so far.
Right now,
What?
with three, I mean, this game could be entirely different. So we see the offense coming from the Rhinos, right? We see we might actually have an opportunity right here, but Voxel, as you mentioned, definitive on the defense, will not allow that to go through. Another one coming from Alpha Mega. The end of you stopped that one as well. The saves are racking up. In the time that we've mentioned it, we've already had to add another 2 to that. So there's 7 saves. If the Rhinos can just land it in the back of the net, this will be an entirely different game.
And something to point out that our lovely producer has just mentioned to you, to us, that we'll mention to you. End of View, who is currently on the Outlaws, last season was on the Rhinos for the CL, and that's the first goal from the Rhinos, Bearded. How do we feel about that one?
We feel like there's a little bit of irony here, because as we're talking about the end of you and how we're giving him credit from going from CL to ML, he was third man, he was back post, and he was in position to block that until he wasn't. So I think that's what we call the caster's curse, everybody.
Yeah, I might have cursed him a little bit there. That's my fault. But yeah, to continue on with that note, he was in CL on the Rhino, so now he's playing against his old team from last season. The old team to him. I'm sure this Rhinos team thinks of him as a traitor. No, but yeah, it's been definitely interesting, this match so far. We finally saw a score come from the Rhinos, and the Rhinos in game 3 might be trying to pull back a reverse sweep. So, you know, only time can tell, Bearded.
Well, as you were saying, as a previous teammate, especially if somebody who's gone to ML, I know my ML teammates are absolutely insane. I've scrimmed them multiple times, so there might be a little bit of intimidation factor, right? I doubt there's any bad blood because it's all gravy here at MLE. But as these CL players who played against him last season or played with him last season, they might just know what he's capable of, and who knows what new tricks he's picked up since then.
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, he's picked up enough to make it where he went from CL to ML. Bowser here trying to make a play, but Voxel's just going to get right in front of him. 1 minute. I don't know about you. As much as I love watching the game, I keep getting distracted by 3 names, sorry. We have Blah, End of You, and not Bowser, 1 Minotaur. And Bowser. There's... Oh, are we about... Okay, no, we're not. Those 4 names really they've just got me focused just because the names are cool. I don't know about you guys. Like, sorry to go completely off track, but those are some cool names, Bearded.
I'm actually really glad you brought this up. After the stream last time, my wife brought up the fact that I kept constantly confusing Zera and Zeta. It's not Zeta, which I constantly went back and forth with. So sorry, Zeta, I called you by the wrong name multiple times. I just wanted to apologize again, and thank you again for giving me the chance to cast you. But back to the game, we now have the first lead from the entire series. Either they gave up and they said, hey, we're not going to win this, let's just have some fun. Or they said, hey, it's time to show everybody why we are number 4 in the season.
Yeah, definitely seeing a good little bit of offense from the Rhinos. Oh my goodness, these touches are crazy. They just need a touch to get it into the net. That entire play. Replay, please. We need the instant replay.
So
please.
We have Bowser, who, I mean, when he jumps for this ball, everyone else was probably thinking, yeah, there's nothing that's going to happen. But he angles his car perfectly to his teammate who's coming up the far left. And if I'm not mistaken, that was actually a 3-man play that started from the goal line all the way down. That had to have been maybe a 6-7 second counter from field to field. And that's exactly what you need to start to end, or the start of your reverse sweep. With 4 and 1, the Rhinos have flipped a switch. Ooh, and a pinch from Minotaur and the end of you is going to result in that goal.
Not saying anything about our lovely producer today, Prod, who's on the Rhinos, but I think he might have went and had a little bit of a chat with his team, getting them together because they are making such a difference here. 4-1, we've been seeing 3-0s, and all of a sudden they're the ones with the 3-goal lead to end in this match number 3. It is now ended thanks to the ball touching the ground.
So I talked about this in the last series. It's almost as if the Outlaws, right, they came in, they said, hey, we're 20 and 20, they're 22 and 18. We need these W's in order to come out on top, in order to go a little bit further. So they said, hey, comms, everything to 110%. They got 2 games, right? They're probably feeling like we are the bigger dogs in this fight. maybe they stopped talking. Maybe they let off a little bit. And now the Rhinos has a chance to go ahead and say, no, we are the bigger animal in this fight as the Rhinos.
Yeah, if we think about it, I mean, Outlaws, you know, that's just a normal human versus a Rhino. I'm just picturing it here. So here's the Rhino, here's the person, and Rhino is a... Have you ever seen a Rhino in person, Bearded?
I can't say I have, but I was at a museum the other day and saw what they used to look like, or at least the bone structure of them, and that alone was enough to scare me.
It's terrifying, and that's what the Rhinos are trying to do here now to these Outlaws, is make them scared. And because of that last game, we can say that there's a reason to be scared, because they've finally gotten a little bit of a lead and are starting to make their way back for a reverse sweep, as Bowser's going to take it on the wall.
Every time there's a 2-game deficit and the next team comes back, like we say those words, reverse sweep, and we don't want to say them too much, but in a game that we just had, it wasn't like a 4-4, right? It wasn't a 4-3. It wasn't a back and forth game. It was like 4-1. The Rhinos had all the answers. They had the cheat sheet. Outlaws couldn't do anything to answer back. That's how you see the start of reverse sweep. So can they keep the momentum going into this game? They're already down 15 seconds, but they had it figured out last time. It's just if the Outlaws are going to play their game that they played the first two.
Yeah, we are seeing here a little bit of... Rhino scored one, as we know, but we're seeing a lot of defense, or oh my goodness, I'm confused. A lot of offense out of these Rhinos now. Into view, trying to push it away. 1 minute for is going to take it up the wall. Blah, who is now back, is trying to score, but the other side, Rhinos back. Oh my goodness, Bearded, tell us what happened.
So we have the demo here, right? And we have the open net, and then of course we have the backflip to follow it up. His heart must have been shaken. They had to make it interesting, right? Bowser came in and put that in a corner and secured the goal that we all thought was open. They just had to add a little flair to it.
Yeah, most definitely. Here we're going to see Boxel trying to get it away because he doesn't want them to score anymore. Alpha Omega almost putting one on the net, but it gets saved. Boxel. 1 Minotaur is actually going to be up for that, and he's going to get it going towards the midfield. 1 minute. Man, I love that name. Alpha Omega is going to have to do something. Bowser. Oh, it's using all three Rhinos here to keep it on offense. Alpha is going to stay up for that. Into view, though, is probably going to get the clear here. Lots of back and forth pressure here. Both teams holding tight, and the score's 1-1 with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
So lots of back and forth here, but what we can say that we didn't see in game 1 and game 2 is the tighter rotation from the Rhinos. As soon as the first man goes, right, the next man's up. As soon as the Outlaws touches the ball, first man is up. They're no longer playing reactionary. They're now coming in and they are controlling the pace of the game. And in Rocket League, that's how you have to win. You don't let the other team play their game. And Bowser coming in and just stomping the goalie, saying, hey, this ball's not coming in very fast, but if you're not here, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's 2-1. Not much you can do. Not to bring the ramen factor back in here. I heard a new way from chat from Mr. Fosh Red, who is on my Jets team, say it's Raymond. Like the A is emphasized. None of this really matters, but at this point, it is a conversation we will continue to have. Boxel trying to score there. 1 Minotaur is going to clear it, and Blah's going to try and keep it in the play. We see a demo coming out from the... Actually, it came from the Outlaws, and the pressure is going to continue to be from the Outlaws. We're going to see the Rhinos try to clear it here. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring out the new point that it might be Raymond as well. So 3 different pronunciations. Mine is the only right one, but none of that matters. Go ahead, Bearded.
Well, here's my take on it now, right? You're starting to make me feel a little self-conscious because I am a big fan of anime. I have Naruto as a couple of my shirts, and they have ramen bar written on them. Ramen, however you want to pronounce it. So now I kind of feel like the person who got the tattoo, right, in another language who has no idea what they're saying. And speaking of no idea what's happening, nobody is ready for Bowser, who is up in the air incredibly fast off this pinch off Alpha Mega. Voxel could not get there. But back to what I was saying, I'm starting to wonder if I can't wear these shirts anymore because someone's going to come up and they're going to ask me, like, hey, man, how do you say that? And I'm going to say, I don't know, right? So I hate what you're doing to me over here.
I'm really confusing you on the ramen. I will say I was once pronounced the Ramen King, not to tell you that it's pronounced ramen or anything. Oh, goodness, Omega, no! Alpha, what are you doing? Alpha almost owned, well, Rhinos are still in the lead, but that's not what we want to see here from this Rhinos team.
A little bit of a breakdown and confusion right there, right? When you have an opponent or you have a teammate, right, looking at you, and there's also the goal looking at you, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna want to let them hit that ball, because if you do, well, there's the goal in front of you and no one else, and if your teammate doesn't hit the ball, math says, well, you're getting scored on. So it was a mistouch, right? Nothing that says the Rhinos can't bounce back, and he made up for it right afterwards.
Yeah, and you're right, he did. He scored. What else can you expect from someone trying to make up the fact that they might have scored on themselves? But it's okay, because he made a goal, so yeah, that's all that really matters.
It was Minotaur who was the start of that whole play, right? Without that pass across midfield, we wouldn't have any chance of making up for it. So we got to thank Minotaur in that. And now they're coming back down this field. Alpha Omega backflipping. A little bit of confusion in the corner. We don't want to have the same thing happen again. I'm glad they're giving each other space now. Minotaur to the corner. Voxel putting it right back out to midfield. And pressure continues to mount from the Rhinos. If they can keep this up, I'm sure a goal will be coming here shortly. Blaw's coming in to rescue in the view. Sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. Well, you're right. I'm sure there will be a goal soon. Like, very soon. Bearded, go ahead. It was soon.
This is, I mean, first off, I never want anything other than a Game 5. I'm absolutely ecstatic that we could potentially see in a Game 5 with 3-goal deficit in a minute. That is my 30 seconds a goal rule. They're, a little shy of that. Not that it can't be done, but I would love to see this pressure keep mounting. Alpha Omega score another one and make us go to Game 5.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna have to be a Game 5 at this point. We see 5-2. Not that we couldn't see something come from the Outlaws, which we play Game 5s anyways, but, I think this one's going to have to go to the Rhinos. I can't see it going anywhere else than the Rhinos, with the score being this high and there only being less than 30 seconds left. Voxel off the wall. Bowser's going to try and take it away. Blaw, though. Yeah, it's a lot of things are happening here. Bowser getting a clear, but 12 seconds, 10 seconds. Bearded, you can finish. If you finish this match, go ahead.
Well, this is 2-2. This is exactly what we want. That means all the marbles rest on this last game, right? Everything that you've played for over the last 4 matches is coming together, and we're going to see who truly is the better team. So right now, who you have? I mean, we saw Outlaws come out swinging, but Rhinos are swinging back. What do you have?
What do I have? I have no idea, but I mean, I want to say the Rhinos are going to win based on what we're seeing from these last 2 matches. I think they were playing with their food a little bit in those first 2 matches, which I hate saying, especially because I have to wait until the end of this match to go get my DoorDash, which is sitting on my front porch right now, but none of that matters. Yeah, I think Rhinos might win this. That's my guess.
I started off with the Rhinos. I quickly started trying to flip after the first 0-2, but I think we need to stick with the numbers, right? They win against the winning teams. We said that in the very beginning. I didn't have any player stats at the time. I looked at only the whole team stats, and I said, that's who I have my money on. Purely off of that, numbers don't lie.
Yeah, they really don't. I mean, if the math adds up, if the boot fits, that's a I don't remember what that Toy Story, jeez.
Toy Story.
Anyways, continuing on to match 5, all the marbles in for this one. Match 5 is the decider for the series. Bearded, go ahead and kick it off for us as soon as the countdown starts.
So we're gonna have Bowser versus Boxel here. And quickly, we're off to start. Bowser with a great kickoff, putting it over to the Outlaws side. He's going to retreat and get some boost. And we have an open ball here. Alpha Mega choosing to take his time. Bowser up to nobody. Boxel in place. Was, I thought, in place. And now Bowser's up for the pass, but it's not going to come. Blodot's going to try and take the ball here. Straight to Minotaur, who's going to take it around the corner. And there might be a pass down. Ooh, Bowser not getting the touch he wants, but he's going to go ahead and try and get a demo, give a little bit of space for his teammates to come in. We have Alpha Omega, who's trying to fight possession. Boxel to the corner. Bowser's going to receive instead. And Bowser's pushing through for the play, trying to get a demo, and ends up taking the ball instead. He'll come right back to it. Rhinos with an extreme amount of pressure here. They are wanting to take this game 5. And here comes Bowser once more. Maybe a pass to Alpha Mecha off the backboard. Boxel is up fast, able to drop that down. It's still in a risky spot here. Minotaur getting meat in the air by Blodot. And Bowser keeping it in the midfield.
Yeah, most definitely. We're a minute in, and normally we have seen a goal by now. But yeah, it's not necessarily been slow, but it's not been as... we've seen goals by now, Bearded, and there's not any, so... what do you think's gonna happen? Normally I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think we should have seen a goal by now.
Where I'm looking at right now, just based off the whiff from both Minotaur and Alpha Omega, everybody's nerves are getting to them. The smooth and solid rotation that we've seen from both of these players, or both of these teams, are just falling apart. Outlaws don't know if they can go ahead and continue what they started. Rhinos don't know if they can finish what they, came back on. Everybody is just jumping at everything. Once again, take a breath. This is game 5. You got this. But we need to see somebody calm down at this moment, because it's going to be a cluster until somebody gets a pinch into a goal at this moment. I'm calling it.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll see here. Boxel actually getting a good move there in the view. Rhinos defense looking strong, but I don't know if it's going to be strong enough with this offensive pressure from the Outlaws. However, now it's going back the other way. Never mind, Bloss going to keep it on the Rhino side. Yeah, it's very back and forth in this game 5. Alpha with the 50. Yeah. So we're at halftime now, Bearded. Nothing is happening. We've seen semi-high scoring games, and nothing is... not that I'm getting bored or impatient or anything, but something should have happened by now, Bearded. Maybe that's just my opinion.
Well, if they score before it goes to overtime, how are we supposed to write this? Sorry, everybody. But yeah, we should have a score here probably in the next couple 30 seconds. Not that I would know. And here it actually might be coming out, but the end of you, man, is just not whiff. Not that it has been, but the whiff's been coming out from everybody. A little bit of pressure. Browser's going to pass it back. It's a 1v1 right now. NW versus Minotaur. He's going to ground the air dribble, goes low, and he's able to take that in. Beautiful play. Way to recognize and slow down.
30 seconds definitely was not on our script. Bearded, thank you for bringing out the fact that Outlaws have now scored. This is not a scripted game. We talked about that, no games are scripted, Bearded. Anyways, one Minotaur is going to take this one. And Alpha Omega missing the pass. Minotaur is going to 50 here. Oh, this could be a chance for Rhinos. They got to get to the ball, and they can't do much with it. We saw a triple commit there from the Outlaws. If they do that again, I'm sure the Rhinos will punish them. Bowser up for it. Bowser on net. Interview's going to save it. Alpha, one Minotaur. That took all 3 players, Bearded.
He is a wall. So we've seen a triple commit, and then we've seen the triple defense, and not enough to stop Minotaur.
Yeah, not enough. One mini Minotaur or one Minotaur, something like that. Anyways, it only takes one to score the goal. It might also take a Bowser and an Alpha Omega, but only one Minotaur to score the goal. And as we are continuing this, we're going to see some pressure from the Outlaws. Bowser having to save it here. He's going to... I thought he was going to pinch it there. He gets a little bit of a flick. One Minotaur up for it. Into view, though. Going to catch it. One Minotaur again making a play. Alpha Omega up for it. Bowser shooting it across Minotaur, putting it across, getting Bowser's gonna actually get that hit. Alpha is up for this. Nobody back. There's one Minotaur. He's back now. Voxel. Now, a lot's happened. We didn't see any. I mean, we saw there was a lot of action, and then we saw two goals almost in a row. One Minotaur here. I was going to hand it off to you, yeah.
Nets, and it completely whiffs. I mean, we say that open nets are the hardest in the game, and there's the proof in the putting. He had nobody back to stop him. He could have been the difference of this game going from overtime, but as we said, they have to get to overtime. I mean, and yeah, has anybody ever watched BattleBots? Because I'm going to probably show my age, but Minotaur, every time I say his name, I think about the hard-hitting robot that just nothing can stop him. And as I mention this, here comes Minotaur to go ahead and prove it.
Well, I also remember BattleBots, and I am at the young age of 16, and I also think of the fact that Minotaur is resembling Minotaur very well right now, as the fact that he just scored a second goal for the Rhinos, potentially taking the Game 5 win, but only time can tell, 13 seconds left, and we almost saw something out of that Outlaws here. Now we're going to see Alpha Omega sealing the deal, 6 seconds remaining with a 3-1, I think that might end it, Bearded, but I mean, we still gotta do the last 6 seconds, but I mean, I don't see this going any other way.
I mean, if the end of the game goes to like the beginning of this game, there is a chance, but I think the Rhinos have tightened it up. I think they realized that they had the equation the entire time. They just weren't putting out the work, and with that, that'll be the end.
That is, in fact, the end. Rhinos taking the win in that with a reverse sweep is what that was, Bearded. Great win for them. That's all I have to say.
I'm feeling good. My predictions for the night earlier, right? Foxes went down 2. I said, hey, they lost the first 2 in commanding fashion. They're going to win this. Everyone probably said, what in the world? What? Why? We got a win and going into game 3, and I said, this is the reverse sweep. Why? Because it was 4-1, and here I am. I love it. I think it'll make me look good.
Very well done, Bearded. This is not scripted. I will say that once again. Wink, wink. No. Anyways, any final words before we go to break?
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to everybody watching and joining us here tonight. Thank you to the players and all the production staff who make this possible. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you soon.
All right, we'll see you right after this break.